Unspeakable and spectacular violence in Attack the Block unwittingly serves to distract from the banality of everyday threats of violence from local law enforcement. While at surface level, an ordinary film about young boys dealing with an alien invasion, the social and racial milieu in which the film is situated provides very important context. An alien crash lands next to a group of boys as they are robbing a young nurse from the neighborhood. After the boys are able to kill this alien, they realize more aliens are touching down all around them. As the boys set out to kill these aliens and defend their block from them, they soon realize that these aliens are much bigger and more violent than they first assumed, and the only thing they can do is try their best to stay alive. What originally seemed to be a manageable threat becomes something so out of control and violent so as to be completely unmanageable and insurmountable for the main characters. As Martineau and Sexton write in their piece The Avant-Garde of White Supremacy, incredible and incomprehensible examples of punitive violence mask the inherent irrationality of so-called normal modes of discipline. By focusing in on examples of when the police use what is considered excessive force, we fail to realize that excessive implies that there is some level of police force that should be acceptable. The monsters serve as an example of extreme violence. There are moments of obscene gore and brutality in the film that are hard to stomach. The boys view these monsters as new and incomprehensible threats because of the magnitude of their violence, when in reality, law enforcement poses the exact same threat to their communities. While the monsters kill the young boys who are trying to defend their neighborhood with fluorescent teeth, law enforcement uses equally brutal measures of lethal violence against people of color. Sam, the young white nurse, suggests that they call the police for help, but the boys repeatedly tell Sam that the police wouldn't believe a thing they said. In fact, the police would probably blame them for the carnage. The boys have an inherent understanding of how the police operate, as everyday menaces in their community that wreak havoc, but in a way that is anticipatable. In fact, the boys' prediction comes true. Moses and his one surviving white friend are arrested at the end of the film. Police procedures like this literally remove young men of color from their communities, whether that be through forcing them into the prison industrial complex or ending their lives. These monsters are similar agents of removal. The only characters who die throughout the film are young black men. In fact, besides Moses, the only member of the gang who makes it through the whole film while constantly facing danger is white. There's a moment in the film when the boys are all standing over the body of an alien they just killed. They all joke about how dark the alien is and how it is the blackest black ever, but when they go to touch it, their hand literally disappears into its fur. The monster is so black so as to literally become a void. It absorbs light so intensely that it removes whatever and whoever comes in contact with it from the rest of the world. The police are just continuing the process that the aliens began. By arresting the final two boys who were not killed, they are removing them from their community much in the same way the aliens were removing the ones who died. While Moses is literally able to defeat an entire horde of alien invaders, he is not able to fight against a pair of handcuffs. This is akin to how the spectacularity of alien violence is something that the boys can and do fight back against. The banal and procedural violence of the police is something that is so institutionalized and ingrained in the community that it is unquestionable and insurmountable.